Hello, peace seekers. This is Saniqua White popping in to give you a piece of my mind that will hopefully give you some peace of mind. Today, I want to talk a little bit about your mind and the government or the law or politics, because that is something that is on the world's minds, the people's minds right now, especially in our political climate, with everything going on with racism, with rights, different rights, abortion rights, voting rights, so gun rights and laws and all types of different things going on with our government, the law, the police, everything that has to do with the government and politics. And I know that it can be consuming for us. And some people are actually experiencing mental and emotional distress because of the things that are going on in our climate, in our political climate, with our government and so forth. So I want to give you 3 tips today that will hopefully help you give yourself some balance and some harmony and hopefully some peace with what is going on in the world. We are wanting, yes, changes to happen, and we can be catalysts to that change. But first, you have to be at peace or at balance or know how to bring yourself to calm in these times. And so tip number 1 is that I want you to think about being informed and not inundated. And what does that mean? Sometimes we watch the news over and over again, especially with the same stories over and over again. And sometimes what you're actually doing is traumatizing yourself by doing that. And so that's keeping you in a place of trauma, anxiety, grief. And so be informed, meaning watch the news or watch your YouTube or watch the feeds, watch things that are going on. Yes, to be informed, but be careful of being inundated, meaning overwhelmed. You're giving yourself too much. You're watching too much. Give yourself a time limit. Tell yourself, I can watch an hour total of news feed a day. Because many of us are, even at work, we're getting on our phones. When we get off work, we're watching the news or looking at our news feeds or whatever we're doing, whichever way you are getting the information, we're doing it way too much. So listen, be informed, meaning it's okay to watch, read, whatever, consume, but do not be inundated. Be careful of overdoing it. Okay, number 2, be affected and not infected. And what do I mean? Of course, we're going to be affected by the news and the things that we watch and the things that are going on that hurt our hearts and that we want to do something about. Be affected. That's being affected, that it touches your heart, that it burdens you, or whatever experience or emotion you feel within that issue. But being infected is meaning it is consuming you. You can't even think about anything else. You can't do anything else without these thoughts or these ideas intruding into your life. You have become infected with it, and it is changing who you are. An ordinarily person who is not angry is now enraged all the time. A person who is not typically sad, they're typically a joyful person, is sad every day. This stuff is infecting and it is changing who you are. It is changing and having an effect on your personality, your being, your balance, and everything about you mentally and emotionally, because you're infected. So what I'm saying is be affected. It's okay to have an emotion or a thought or an idea about what is going on, but being infected means you're consumed by it and it is taking over your life. Okay. Tip number 3 is being responsive and not reactive. Being responsive, a response typically comes from intellect, from your brain, from your knowledge, from a strategy. Reactive or reactions usually come from your emotions. You're upset about it, and before you even think about it, you act on those emotions. And that tends to put us in an even worse place than we were in the first place. So being responsive is taking in the information, processing it, thinking about it, strategizing, and coming up with something that you can actually do that you feel might be effective in affecting change, and not just simply being angry or having an emotion. Yes, we will have an emotion tied to something that's going on. We will be angry. We will be saddened. But what I'm saying is you don't react out of those emotions. You process those emotions and you respond. You become responsive out of your intellect. Okay, so those 3 tips again are being informed and not inundated, being affected and not infected, being responsive and not reactive. These are the things that will help you maintain control of yourself. Because a lot of times with government, law, and all of those types of things, it takes small things, small steps to get us there. We tend to look at that big end result that we want, and we get frustrated, we get sad, we get hurt, we experience all sorts of emotions, and mainly what we show on the outside is anger about it. We need to be able to move from simply being angry to being able to strategize and respond. And so that is where I would like for you to consider being, so that mentally and emotionally you remain stable even in an unstable culture. Okay? I hope this video has been helpful. If it has, give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe. I'll be back soon. Until then, be proactive about your mental health. Be well, and God bless.